This is the unboxing and initial impressions of the brand new Samsung Galaxy XR headset. This is Samsung's most advanced and most premium XR headset that provides you a unique experience of utilizing not only Android as an operating system, but also the ability of integrating Gemini, Google services for AI built into this headset at its core. This is in many ways the answer to what obviously the Apple Vision Pro has been out for a couple of generations now. And this is Samsung's first generation in this form factor. Samsung's done things like this in the past, but we finally see what the ultimate experience that Samsung wants to provide for us in an XR headset. So this is the Samsung Galaxy XR. Let's check it out and see what makes it so special in this unboxing and initial impressions. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos for you on the channel. I want to start off by saying is that the box is obviously too big to fit in the frame. As I showed you guys in the beginning of the video, this is actually a very nice, well put together box for the XR headset. It's unfortunately big and too big for the camera that I have as my overhead camera right here. So it's hard for me to actually give you guys a really good experience from the outside. But when we remove the lid and remove the top part of it, we're greeted right away with the headset itself. Now, the headset itself comes in one size. There's no multiple sizes to pick from. There's a headrest on the back that's adjustable. There's also an adjustable dial here to adjust the frame, or how basically the frame is tidy. When it comes in the actual case, it comes in its most smallest configuration and it sits straight into an actual frame on top. There's actually a couple of doors in here on the bottom for additional, for power and accessory, but the overall, the headset itself comes pretty much fully assembled with the exception of a few pieces that we need to get from the inside. On the left side of the actual frame, or on the left temple on here, is the connector for the power connection that can that basically we attach here and then we connect to the power bank that comes with the headset itself. Now, first and foremost, I did not pick this up with any prescriptions, so there's no prescription lenses for me. But these are the two 4K displays that we have in here, and we're going to talk about how clarity is a big thing about this actual unit itself. There is the magnetic mount clip here on the front. We're also going to talk about that. The headset does come with a nice little shield that protects the optics and the display, or at least the glass on the front. And just for reference, the actual material is a very nice suede material so that there is no chance that it will scratch or damage the glass. And you can definitely see here, it's super reflective. We have the primary sensors, cameras that we have in here. We also have exhaust fans at the top. This is where the heat is generated, the heat that's generated from the headset shoots up. So it never goes down to your face, and there's generally no heat in here. The shield on the top is non-removable. There is a volume rocker here on the left side and a power button on the top that you're able to push to turn on once the headset is turned off. On the bottom, we have additional camera sensors. Again, these are going to be the cameras that are going to be used to track our hand. This does not come with any controllers, although you are able to pair obviously third-party controllers or even purchase controllers directly from Samsung. One of the two ways you're able to interact with the UI inside of the XR experience here is by using eye tracking or hand tracking, which is going to be very, very nice. So you can definitely see it, very nice and very easy to configure. Okay, now once we take that off, we have basically two more containers here to be able to get through. First and foremost, on the right, we have the power bank. This is the power bank that should last us about a couple of hours of usage. And it is essentially provided with a special cable that we're going to take a look at. There's a button here to turn on to see how the charge is. And this is how we're able to charge it, or actually provided power when you're using it. You are able to charge and use it at the same time, so you don't ever have to run out of battery. There's a QR code, but pretty much straightforward. This is a Samsung power bank. The cable that comes in here is the cable that we use to interact with it, or essentially charge it. And it comes with this clip. This is the clip that we talked about before. It's very straightforward. There's a nice little grooves for it here. And for all intents and purposes, as long as you remember that the cable needs to go away from your face, you basically put it on and then slide down. And once you do that, for the most part, it is solid. It does not come out. You do need to push the little button. Once you push that on, slide it up, and you're able to remove it. And again, the cable is very straightforward. Now, for protection and to make sure that it does not actually get damaged, the cable that goes into the power bank has to be inserted directly into the actual unit itself. And once it's in, also becomes very hard to take out. There is an eject button for the most part. You have to push this button to remove it. So there's a lot of extra little precautions so that we don't actually damage anything. And the nice thing about it is, if for any reason this cable does get damaged, you're able to buy a replacement and not have to worry about it. It's not fully connected to the actual power bank. Okay, continuing on the right side, we have the manual and lens cleaning cloth that is included in the package. And again, here, pretty straightforward experience. You can just remove them. I've been using my own, but it's nice that they have here. Here's the instruction manual. Of course, a custom-made cleaning cloth here, directly made for our XR. The last couple of things here we have is a USB-C to C cable, and of course, a charger that you're able to charge the headset from it. This is a US style charger. Again, the current two markets that this is available in is basically Korea and the US. Once you go through the setup, you'll notice that recommendation right away. But if you use your own, you're pretty much straightforward. There's no issues in there. For me, this is going to be the main experience. So as long as you connect your charger directly into the main unit, make sure that it's locked in, connect this to your headset, you're ready to go, and make sure that this is charged up fully before you use it for the first time. Now, the next couple of pieces here are going to be the accessories to be able to put this is the forehead rest. So essentially you just put it on, and these pieces are magnetic. So these two grooves will go into the grooves on the inside. Once you put it on, you notice that it actually locks in. And the nice thing about it is because they're magnetic, it's easy to remove. And if you want to replace, get an additional one. On the actual headset itself, there's a corresponding two grooves in here. You could put it on, and then once you have it on, that's pretty much the extension for the headrest. So without it, this is what it looks like. With it, it actually provides a nice little rest here for your forehead. Again, you adjust the strap on the back, adjust the little headset, very nice, straightforward. Now, on the bottom, there's actually a couple more pieces. Those are the additional pieces that we have. And these pieces are also connected magnetically. So you actually align them to the bottom of the face itself. You'll notice it connects and it actually provides a seal at the bottom. Same thing in here. You put it in, as long as you align it, you'll see that it fits. And for all intents and purposes, the headset itself is fully assembled, ready to go. We have the connector there. Again, a few additional pieces there. You adjust the piece and put it on your head and you're ready to go. Now, one thing to mention also, that if you do wear glasses like mine and your glasses are not very big on the frame, this actually should still work for you guys. I've been actually using them with my glasses, although for the most part, because I'm farsighted, most of AR headsets or XR headsets have not had an issue for me, and I don't need the inserts for them. So for me, it works perfectly fine. But if you do, just to kind of show you guys what it looks like, you put your glasses on, make sure they're on nicely, extend this to the furthest possible, adjust the actual rest. As you can see here, it sits right at the top of my temple, put it on there. The rest on the top piece here sits on my forehead on top, and then at this point, you basically adjust it to the level that you want, tighten it a little bit so that it does not move, and we're pretty much ready to go. My glasses are still in here. I don't have any problems with them, and I'm still able to actually use the actual headset itself. There's nice little spacing in there. Now, one thing I will say, at least on my configuration, I don't know if there's additional or longer pieces that we're able to get on the bottom, but I am actually able to see some light in here. Now, the last thing obviously is about putting this piece on. Just remember, the cable needs to go backwards. It doesn't go forward, and it actually just clips on and signs. So you find it with one finger, you put it on there, and you're pretty much ready to go. Snaps on, you have the actual configuration sitting right there. And then once you actually have that connected, just for reference, if the power bank is fully charged, the headset turns on. So there's nothing you need to do to actually activate it once you have it on. And then for that much, for the most part, you put the power bank in your back pocket, you put the strap on the back, and you are mobile and you are ready to go. So the headset itself works really good, but you definitely need to remember to remove the cover. The cover unfortunately stops all the camera lenses or everything to work. So for the most part right now, although I'm like talking to you guys through this, I'm actually able to see everything. Everything is clean. My hands are actually traced directly in the actual UI. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock just so that you guys could see exactly what I'm looking at. Right now, when I put my hands in front of my face, there's actually like think of it as like an Android device, like a smartphone. There's basically a home button. If I press and hold on it for a second, move right and left, and you guys are I'm going to put that a little bit here on the top left. Basically, I have a back, a home, and a recents, which essentially just opens up my recents applications. If I press it again and hold, give it a second, it turns on the Google services, and at this point I can launch the basically Gemini built into this. As you can see here, Gemini is built in and it runs. Outside of this, for the most part, I'm basically just looking at it here. So just for reference, so here. But without that, basically the only two things, again, as I mentioned to you guys, there's two buttons on the top. If I push the top right, top left, that just changes the volume. If I press the power button on the top right, or the button on the top right, it opens up the UI, and if I press it again, it goes away. The two tracking methods that we have right now are pretty much gestures. So there's my hand. So basically, if I want to be able to interact with something, press home, I open it up. And the moment I do that, they basically, as you could see with my finger there, it becomes kind of like a tracker. And I can actually just breathe in and then clip. And if I want to open it, select it. And now, technically, I have a screen in front of you guys. So I'm just going to move it up here a little bit. And let's go ahead and minimize this. I'm going to bring it small. And again, so interacting with everything is very much a gesture based. But what I like about it is it also tracks your eyes. Once you do the calibration and you're ready to go with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring it over just a little bit and put it over here. I'm actually going to show you guys that although my hand is not moving, and you're going to see this, I'm just actually going to start moving my eyes. So I can actually start selecting different things. So let's go ahead and bring out my hands outside. And I can actually move the UI by just looking up and down as to what I want to play. So El Midit is here, and then Live Forever. The way to interact with it is you track with your eyes when you're ready to actually connect with something. As long as your hands are on the bottom here, I can actually just click and it opens it and you're able to interact with it. Simple, straightforward. So press home, we have access to it. This is kind of like our app drawer. I can swipe through. You can see all the different applications that you're able to actually interact with. Press it one more time. And what I like about it is you have access to apps that you can download from the Google Play Store, Google apps like Google TV, Google Maps, Drive, and there's also some Samsung ones, so like some redundancy. We have photos and we have gallery. We also have browser and we also have Chrome. So they're both included in here. Netflix is fully supported, definitely very nice. Also, you have the ability of jumping in directly into a settings menu. That's one we were looking at before. So I'm able to actually swipe through and go back. And if I want to be able to go to more settings, like a regular Android setting experience, you can definitely see it. It's right there. And you can swipe through, you can kind of come down, open it up. And when you're setting it up, let's go ahead and minimize this. You notice that the displays were on top of each other, or in front of each other. And I liked about that basically I can grab one display with one hand and I can another one on the right side, two hands, and you can move them around. And you can see the tracking is absolutely fantastic. And it's super clear, super clean. So I really like the experience and the way this actually works. So if I want to close it again, I just open up home and I can go back into settings and swipe over. Well, let's go ahead and find it. And right here, screen recording, you can click it from here to shut it off. It'll stop the recording. And then from there, you can basically just go home or press it again and it takes it away. Now, the setup process is straightforward, realistically. The setup process was actually really, really easy. For the most part, I set it up directly with my S25 Ultra and I was able to scan the QR code. It transferred all of my accounts, basically all of the Google accounts that I've logged into, as well as my Samsung account directly onto the actual headset. So I didn't have to go through and type anything. I mean, you could have done it manually, but this is the simplest way ever. You go through a Samsung device, near it, recognized it right away. It automatically gave me the ability of setting it up and customizing it. I've had this headset actually right now for about maybe 2 days, so basically about 48 hours. Initial impressions of the actual headset itself overall, I'm going to say this, like there's a wow factor that comes with this. And I say that because it is running Android, which is a very familiar experience for us. This is for the most part kind of almost like running a smartphone, running a UI like Dex, similar to Dex, not Dex specifically, connected to a headset. And the real nice thing about it is the built-in system UI is very familiar and you know exactly where things are. Connectivity works really nice. Wi-Fi 6 is supported. The displays are absolutely beautiful, clear, clean images. Everything in there is really, really nice. One of my favorite things about this is I actually get the chance to sit down in the living room. So we have a TV in here. It's about a 65-inch TV. And I'm able to project a bigger display, almost 100, maybe 200-inch TV in front of it, block it out. And because I'm able to control everything by gestures, I'm actually able to pitch it even further away to fill up an entire room and get that immersive experience where I actually have to turn my head to see the different sides of it. The ability of downloading games or directly applications from the Google Play Store, also very nice. The integration with Gemini is very familiar. And again, if you have Gemini and you use the Gemini assistant, you're not going to be disappointed. You have live, you have the ability of, bringing up things in front of it and saying, hey, tell me more about this. It'll interact with it. Overall, I say this is definitely noticeably an upgrade from previous generation of headsets that I've seen from Samsung. And I'm talking about, going all the way back to the Gear VR, back when we used to actually take our smartphone, put it in a headset, and put it in front of our face. And that was Samsung's approach to providing us a head-mounted display type of a solution. We moved on to obviously what we have now with the Quest and Quest 3S and the 3 and the 3S, and which I feel like are also very powerful and very smooth. They both the Galaxy XR and Quest headsets use obviously Qualcomm's chipset. This is one of the things that makes this a reality, the ability of using it. In the last 48 hours of using it, I've had no problems overall. The gestures is something to get used to, especially when you're using hand and eye tracking. If you are using your hands and you put them in front of your face, the eyes stop working because the UI thinks, okay, you're going to be using your hands to gesture. If you're going to use your eyes, you just need to make sure that your hands are somewhat in the front lower part of your body. They can't be in the back because the front cameras that we're talking about, these cameras that are sitting here, that's how you're going to be tracking your hands and being able to do the pinch control. If you're using a controller, obviously all of that kind of goes out the door. You can use the controller. Some of the things that I'm showing you guys right now are from my experiences of using this, and I love the fact that I can prop in multiple displays. I can actually also grab multiple displays at the same time and kind of play and try to figure out where to put them. You can have only 2 windows active at the same time that play content. So if you have 3 windows sitting there, the third window that you're not interacting with would typically go a little bit grayish. It stays there. I did also find for some reason that whenever I turn on the Google Play Store, all other windows go away. So there's a rule in there for some reason in there. Other than that, I think honestly, it's a really good experience. If you like the idea of what Vision Pro is providing and you're not necessarily in the Apple ecosystem, but you want the best that Android has to offer, Samsung's actually been able to do a very good job there. The price point is literally about half of that. The experience that you're getting here, it's easy to jump into, very simple, and it seems very mature. I like the fact that we have Netflix in there. It's very straightforward, already installed, ready to go. I can download and install any other application I want directly from the Google Play Store. The main thing I probably will say is just getting used to the interaction. By default, it doesn't come with any controllers, so you're not using like the Quest and you're having to kind of work out a controller. Everything is by hand. The tracking on here is definitely better than what we get with the Quest 3 or the 3S, so that's something to keep in mind. And the displays are so sharp. Like, they're you truly feel the experience upgrade that you come into a display like this when you come in from a Quest 3. And the Quest 3, again, not a slouch, super nice, super functional. I haven't had a chance to use it as a desktop PC yet, and I haven't had a chance to interact directly with other accessories other than just using it. Playing games with it, again, straightforward. I don't see myself wanting to jump in to play a game on here because my favorite game is Call of Duty, and unfortunately, Call of Duty does not support a controller unless it's directly connected to the unit itself. So there's some limitations in what you can do in there, like especially with FPS. I think you still need something a little bit more dedicated. Do I think this is something you should pick up? Honestly, it's going to come down to what you're looking to do and what you want to do. I like the interface. I like the functionalities. I like the fact that I can walk away. I don't have to worry about boundaries or whatever. If you walk away too far from an experience, let's say you have a couple of displays and you've walked away too far, it basically almost like cancels that experience and then you can move away. You're also able to ping things in virtual space and move between them. Very, very nice. And I love the clarity. The clarity on this is really nice. Speakers, they sound really, really good. And overall, pretty straightforward. The weight on this is very nice. The distribution is really good. Again, the back mounting piece just goes on the back of your head. And of course, the front piece, as I told you guys, it's basically magnetic. You're actually able to put it on. And if you're not using it, you can remove it, put it on, replace them. This, straightforward. You push the button, slide it up, it removes. Very much straightforward there. Also, little tip, if you do want to get those extended sessions and you're not moving, connect the power source. Charge the battery at the power bank at the same time as you're using it, and it actually still works. I did that for the first session because the battery wasn't 100% charged and I didn't want to wait. I was impatient on my own. So with that being said, I want to say thank you very much for checking out this video. Let me know what you guys think. This is not sent to me by Samsung. This is literally a favor that a friend of mine is allowing me to enjoy using this for a little bit and trying to figure out if this is something that I'd like to pick up. And honestly, I'm very much intrigued by this, and I definitely will be picking up my own. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys want me to focus on with the XR? Is this interesting? Is this something that you guys have thought about? Are you intrigued in what Samsung's trying to do in this space? This is definitely the best that Android has to offer. The fact that we have Google integrated and it works so natively and so smoothly is a win. And I think, in my opinion, if I had to choose between this and the Vision Pro, personally, I would choose this purely for the convenience and the functional options that it comes in. I do use a MacBook for when I edit my videos when I'm traveling, but for the most part, I'm a desktop Windows user and my devices are all Android. This just works much better in that ecosystem, and Samsung's knocking it out of the park. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.